here with the Lozanos, Dylan and Peyton. Today we are going to talk about adopting a family reflection ritual. But before we get started, let's get the Lozano lowdown. Dylan and Peyton, tell us a little bit about yourselves and that sweet family of yours.
I'm Peyton, and this is Dylan. We have two little girls. We have a almost 4-year-old in December, Rose, and an almost 1-year-old in December, Priscilla. We started off our little family a little bit young, so we've had our challenges along the way, but we're just enjoying life together now, and this is part of it. Our reflection kind of helps us improve each year, and this is the process of it.
Mm-hmm. Tell me just a little bit about what you guys do at the end of every year.
We just like to get together as a family all together and address everything that has happened in the past year. Things that we want to change or do better or do different in the forthcoming year. Some goals that we like to set and just kind of get back in touch with everybody.
Awesome. So you reflect on what worked and what didn't work.
Absolutely.
And then you make your plan going forward.
Absolutely.
So Peyton, can you tell me what inspired you guys to start doing this?
It was probably right before our oldest daughter's first birthday, because since she's born in December, obviously you have that really long first year, and we were both really young. You were what, 21 and I was 19, so it was a crazy year. We were young, we didn't know what we were expecting, and I remember it was close to her birthday and we were talking about what a year had been. One night we were laying in bed after we put Rose to sleep, and we were like, man, it's been a crazy year, and it just all of a sudden came out. We were talking about everything that we really didn't like that either we did as a team or the other did, and everything that we really liked that we did as a team or the other did, and then it was just all of a sudden happened every year. It wasn't even intentional at first. It just seemed every time Rose's birthday started to come up, we were like, oh, it's been a crazy year again. Yeah, here's everything about it.
Another natural time marker.
Yeah, I think the first year that we really intentionally did it was probably last year. Because it was right after we had Priscilla that we were like, we need to talk about this before next year, because we got 2 kids. We got another one now that we just had. It's going to be a crazy year going from 1 to 2. So let's get a plan.
A lot of people are reluctant to revisit the past. They prefer to focus on the present or the future or both. So why do you guys think it's important to reflect on the past each passing year?
Before we've started looking into the past and actually learning from it, things repeated. And it got to that breaking point, and we learned from that in a way of, I don't necessarily think it's looking back in a negative light. It's more so looking back in a third person view. To actually learn from history and not repeat these same mistakes, to change and to listen to each other.
And it became super important once we had kids.
Yeah,
I feel like that was something that, I don't know, after we had the girls, it was one of those things that we had to be able to be open and honest about everything that we felt and wanted in life without fear of, any type of issues coming from it, because otherwise, how are we going to grow for our children? There's things that you have to talk about. There's things that you have to be able to be like, hey, I really didn't like this, and I don't want you to be offended that I didn't like this, but we need to work on it next year.
Can you share a specific reflection from one of your years past that really stuck with you, a takeaway from your reflections?
It's probably second year. Kind of, because after the first year of having a kid, you think
everything.
We got it now. we're perfect. And then the second year, especially, every new phase was just a curveball. And I think on our second yearly reflection, Peyton just really needed to be listened in a way of hey, I have this idea. This is how I like to parent. Yada yada. I wasn't around kids a lot. So I've learned a lot of my parenting from her, and I think second year was really my time to okay, I'm gonna let you take the reins and learn from it. And then in the following years, of course, I've stepped up in ways, and I've learned how to be my parent in my lane.
Because that was the first year that we ever had Rose was starting to get old enough that when Dad came home from work and she got to play and have fun, then she would get into a little bit more trouble, and Mom's just at home with her telling her what to do. So that was the first year I just sat down and be like, hey, no, we're gonna have to there's certain things, she's getting to the age that we can't buck on. I know that she's your sweet little baby and she can bat her eyes and you haven't seen her all day, but
Daddy's girl.
there.
What can you give me one specific change that you made?
So I used to come home and listen to Rose be like, "Oh, I was great today," and this and that, and Peyton, and just assume that Peyton was just stressed out from the day because there's a lot of things to do at the house, and maybe that's why she was getting onto this or that, and then I was out of work and Peyton was still working, and we kind of switched roles and all of that, and that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot in general.
Mm-hmm.
And then
it's a huge transition.
playing Mr. Dad with all of it or Mr. Mom, instead of the typical, all I've ever done, work, come home. And I totally was able to look through a different lens and be like, you know what? These kids are crazy off. And on top of it, the house has been a mess, and I've had to do this, and I've had to run to do this, and yeah, I'm not the 9 to 5. But there's value in both sides of it.
Mm-hmm. So how has that particular reflection made your relationship stronger?
Oh, I would say that it's helped on my end a lot because I don't work, I don't get that break. And it was kind of a struggle to have him understand that until we had our set down.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's a big thing of when he does come home, he'll ask me first of hey, how have the kids been? And if I'm terrible, absolutely terrible, then I'll be okay, well, give mom a break.
Where can I best help you?
Yes, yeah, because that's what he'll always say. He'll be how can I best help you? Do you want me to hold the baby? Do you want me
and
to
sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes it's I just need somebody to listen to me to this. So when I tell you sit down.
Yeah,
cool.
Let me rant. But it's just that's because that's the first thing I say. How was your day? How is the kids? How can I help you? And that has changed everything drastically because it went from always being why does everybody act like I'm crazy? No, this is hard. To being heard, and then in return, if I need a break and I get that little break, then I can come back to the girls and I'm not as just burnt out.
So let me ask you this. Moving forward, is there some point that you feel like you might involve the girls in your annual reflection?
Absolutely.
When Rose is old enough to comprehend, she can comprehend, but fully grasp, I want nothing more than the girls to feel heard and validated in their feelings as well. Because yes, they're children, but at the same time, their feelings matter.
Absolutely.
And I want to be able to be the best mom to my ability, and I don't feel like I can be that without knowing where I might be lacking in that I don't see. Whether it's, hey, I really don't like when you're overstimulated and you just tell me to go in my room. Why don't you just tell me what's going on? And or if it's, hey, I don't like the way Priscilla does this to me, and we can get the girls to learn how to hash out stuff together because I think that's important to build that communication skills. So when they're old enough and they have relationships and stuff like that, that they are set on a path to be able to have a successful, healthy relationship.
I think it makes all of our jobs easier. It takes the guessing game out of it.
You've laid that foundation of communication.
Yeah, all I need to learn is how to listen to what you just said and fix it. So I don't need to, it does take the guessing game out of it all.
What advice would you give to families that might want to start an annual family reflection ritual?
Leave your hurt feelings at the door. For real, because our first year with it, I'm not gonna lie, especially since it was unintentional, there was a few moments where we were okay, we're done talking now. It was no, we've got to talk through this
we
because
started it, so we got to finish it.
Because if you take offense easily to somebody trying to say, hey, I don't like that, then you're gonna be in a never-ending loop of it all.
Exactly.
You just listen to the criticism, ask what you can do, even if you don't like the criticism, even if that's something that is so totally offensive to you. Just take it and work on it, and I guarantee you in 6 months into the next year, you will see a complete difference. You'll be oh, maybe there was a reason why they said that, and it will start to make sense. And bring in the good, too. That's another thing.
Highlight the good.
We never were just on the negative. It was, because it always started out with reflecting on our year with our first child. So when we talk about this is something we need to change, we also talk about, hey, I am so thankful that you did XYZ this year.
Yeah. I love that.
I'm so proud of you for hitting this goal this year. And we always make a goal for the next year, and then at the end of the year we check in on did we hit it? Was it realistic? And like just small little things to keep it from getting too negative and you dreading on it.
Yeah.
Because when you do the things of being like, hey, I was proud of you for XYZ, or thank you for doing XYZ, it's going to make it more enjoyable.
It never has a negative undertone.
Yeah, like if you leave it on a positive note and you have those positive notes in there, then it's going to make some of the stuff that you don't really necessarily want to hear or talk about so much easier.
No, I agree.
Dylan and Peyton, you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your story
It's the best we can do.
and your wisdom.